Howdy folks, welcome back to another episode of Resell Niche. My name is Mo, and on this channel we discuss everything to do with eBay and Amazon and selling online. So today I wanted to get into selling throws and blankets and tapestries. So it's cold, the weather is getting a lot colder even here in California. So I've been selling more blankets or throw blankets, whatever you want to call them. And I found all of these used at thrift stores, and I wanted to show you which ones you can possibly find and sell. And all of these that I listed are used, and I found them on eBay. And I'm going to show you 20 that sold for good profit on eBay. You can also sell them on Poshmark, Etsy, Mercari, places like that. But I'm pulling from eBay. And then at the very end, if you stick around, I'm going to show you 3 of my sales that were within the last few weeks that all sold for over $50. And they were all thrift store finds for under $5. So let's get right into it. First of all, this is one that I've seen something similar to. I haven't sold this one specifically. It's a Bratz Fashion Dolls throw blanket. It's kind of a woven tapestry style. And this is the type of thing I see quite a bit. Different cartoon characters, different movie stars, different singers, athletes even. So this type of thing you'll see quite frequently. So don't overlook any of these kind of woven tapestry style throw blankets. And this one sold for $104.99, and they took an offer on that. All right, next up, I see a lot of kind of this woolen, made in Scotland, a lot of times Ireland, in the UK, blankets. So not necessarily just Pendleton blankets, which we'll look at later on. This one's a brand called McIntyre, wool made in Scotland, blue-green Camel, kind of a tartan style blanket. I see these a lot as well. The comps of these vary because I see these going for like 20, 30 bucks, and this one went for $120, or they took an offer of that. So look up these, especially if they have these really old tags, and pure wool is always a good thing. Next up, again, characters of any kind. Pokemon is always hot, has been for a few years now. This is a big, you can see the guy standing behind it, big Pokemon style blanket. I don't know if this is vintage or not, but it's just a plush blanket, and I'm seeing more and more of these going for good money, and he took enough for $100. So you can't beat that for a blanket. Okay, this is one that you've seen a lot of other YouTubers talk about, resellers talk about, San Marcos. There's a couple other brands that are similar to this. They make this 1970s, 80s style, kind of a thick, kind of plush. They're really heavy blankets. It's kind of like a rocker 1980s feel to them. A lot of animals. You see dragons, lions, tigers, you know, that type of thing on them. And they're big. These are big blankets, 70 by 90 inches here, burgundy tan. And you can see the designs are really good. And you can tell when you see these. I've sold this type of blanket without even a tag on it, so I wasn't even exactly sure what brand it was. But look out for these if you see them. Okay, this is one that is kind of a hit and miss. I put this in here because you're going to see a lot of these. This is probably a homemade, it says handmade granny blanket. The design is really, really cool, really, really good. There is no tag that I can see in their listing here. And who knows, maybe they made it themselves, but it's just the vibrant colors, the color scheme, that 1970s kind of crochet look. So for something like this, if you have the room, I don't really pick these ones up as much, but I could see why it's sold because of the way it was designed. $108, and we took an offer on that. Okay, this is another throw blanket. It's similar to the one we talked about a little bit earlier, Britney Spears. This one is actually a branded one, but I've seen a lot that aren't branded that still sell. So this one, if you see anything like this with any, you know, movie stars, musicians, anything like that, cartoon characters, pick them up, especially if they're, you know, just a few dollars. This one sold for $119.95. Okay, I like looking at anything that has patchwork. This one looks like it was branded. I've seen these kind of amateur style as well. You can see all the different names in this one's different ski resorts and, you know, Beaver Creek, Vail, all that kind of stuff. This stuff does really, really well, especially if it's vintage and has the tags. Even if it doesn't, I would pick something like this up if I saw it, you know, under 10 bucks. This one sold for $174.95. Okay, Playboy is a brand that does really, really well. One thing, caveat to this, is it is a brand that is faked quite a bit, so be careful with the tags. Even the tags can be tough though to tell if it's fake or real. This one right here just looks like a plush blanket with the Playboy logo on it. And it, like I said, this brand does really, really well in clothing, in blankets, you know, that type of thing. So if you see this type of blanket, pick it up. It sold for $189.99. Okay, another cartoon character throw blanket here. This is Rugrats, the movie, you know, Nickelodeon cartoon. 40 by 60 is just not even the biggest blanket, but it's really, you can see the intricacy of the stitching there, and it's actually got a tag, Northwest Company, branded. So this is something you should look out for right here, and I guarantee you see something like this in one of your thrift stores. It might not be a Rugrats, but it'll be some other, you know, cartoon character or musician or something. $199.95 out the door. Okay, Hudson Bay is a brand you should look out for that sometimes people overlook. A lot of their blankets go for good money. I picked this one because I wanted to show you the tag here. They have kind of like this stripy looks type, very simple looking blankets a lot of times. But you know, they make all kinds of different things. But this is obviously 100% wool, made in England. Hudson Bay, look out for that brand. This one sold for $250. Okay, this one was interesting. I just found this when I was researching. It was only for Target. I did a little research. When they were at Target, they were around $40 or $50. If you look on Poshmark or at eBay, these go for, and this one is even the highest one. I saw one on Poshmark, I think it was like $700 sold. I don't know if it was sold, but it was listed for $700. And I've seen several of these sold for hundreds of dollars. And it looks like it's out of stock on Target.com, I guess. So look out for this, Missoni for Target. Always look out for the style and what it's made of. So this is camel hair. I like to pick up, obviously cashmere is a great fabric to use and then to pick up, but camel hair is awesome as well. Anything like that, it's out of the ordinary, it's different. And this one, especially if it's got the tag and it says what it is on there, you don't have to guess, and you can take a picture of it. So this one sold for $275 out the door. Plain blanket, but because of what it was made of, it did well. Okay, obviously this is pretty obvious. This is Ralph Lauren Polo, big logo there. And it looks pretty vintage, and it's got the tags on there and everything. 100% wool, made in Switzerland. So it's nice. So if you see anything like this, different brands, obviously Polo or any of the, you know, Gucci, Hermes, pick them up. Okay, another vintage blanket. This one, this is Whitney Point Blankets. I've never heard of this before, but this style of vintage woolen blanket, again, nothing fancy, but that tag, where it's made, and the, you know, how old it is, all of this stuff adds up. And obviously this one comes with a bag, so that's pretty cool too. This one sold at $365. And of course Pendleton, I couldn't have a blanket episode without talking about Pendleton, obviously, especially if you live anywhere in the northwest of the US. Pendleton is everywhere, and I find more shirts than I do blankets, but I found a couple of blankets, nothing as cool as this one. But if you find something with the Pendleton brand, obviously it goes without saying, pick it up as long as it's not ridiculously priced. This one sold for they took an offer of $475. Coogee, another brand that does well in clothing as well as blankets. This one, they took an offer of $800, and you can see that design. It's just really, really cool. I've never seen a Coogee blanket personally. I've seen lots of sweaters, but I've never seen a blanket. So this one, if I saw it, I would pick it up. And you can tell that if it has that tag, it's very vibrant tag as well. Okay, this one's a little strange looking thing, fur throw, so I'm not sure what you guys think about that. Designer Nicholas Ongar, and it says no flaws. It looks like a really, really old piece, but it sold for over $1,000 there. Okay, now we're getting to the more expensive ones. This, obviously, like I said, this is Chanel, and you can see there. This one, you need to be careful with, obviously, tags and faking. I'm not sure if blankets get faked as much as other things, but I mean, who knows? So obviously, this one sold for $2,300. I'm just showing you this one. This isn't the type of thing I generally find at my thrift stores, but I just wanted to show you what a used blanket could sell for. Everything on this list is used. And again, this is not one that I have ever heard of before. It looks pretty plain. Cashmere blanket by Fred Glenhosh as a waffle knit, 100% cashmere. So anything 100% cashmere, you at least want to take a look at, as long as it's not ridiculously priced. But made in Italy, 100% cashmere, can't beat that. Okay, and this is, I believe, the most expensive one that I found that was used is a Hermes blanket and Avalon throw blanket. It says here went for over $1,500. Excuse me, over $1,100. And if you find anything Hermes, ties, blankets, anything like that, pick it up at least. And you might want to get it verified though, or authenticated. But I would at least take a look, because these go for crazy money. Okay, and like I said, those I didn't sell. These are 3 that I sold personally in the last couple of weeks. First one here, I pick up anything that looks out of the ordinary. This is a City of Livermore wine country blanket that I picked up. This one was $2.99 and it sold for $52.34, including tax and shipping. And it was just kind of like this woolen throw blanket, and it had all different patches describing different parts of the city of Livermore, California. So nothing crazy, but I'm happy with that. All right, next up, this is one that I've seen several times online. I've never seen it personally. I found this a few weeks back. It was a ScoobyDoo plush blanket, and the tag was actually missing. But it listed and sold within maybe about a week or so. I paid $4.99 for this one, and it sold for $146.98 out the door. So I just shipped this a couple of days ago, and I was really happy with this one. And you'll see this one. I don't know what it is about this ScoobyDoo blanket, but it seems to move fast. And lastly, this is one that I took a gamble on. I just saw because it said San Diego Chargers, and they're obviously not in San Diego anymore. So it's a vintage throw blanket. Not even that big, 48 by 50 inches. But this one sold for $130.08 out the door. I only had $4.99 into this one as well. So I was really happy with this one, because it was kind of a shot in the dark. But like I said, pick up any of these sporting teams, cartoon characters, musicians. The weather is cold, people need blankets, so they're going to get ones that they can, look at and say, hey, that looks pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this and saw some items, hopefully, that you can pick up yourself and sell. But until the next one, have a good one, guys. Bye.